right, what is up, nerds? We are here for Flash Talk for the Season 2, Episode 9. What was the episode called?
Running to Standstill.
Right. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be talking about that episode and just give our general thoughts and overview like we do every week. So, Dylan, what'd you think about this episode?
So my first thoughts right out the gate, for the whole episode, it didn't feel like a mid-season finale. Did it feel like that to you?
It kind of did, but only because of all the Christmas illusions and holiday illusions.
I guess so.
And television does that.
Yeah.
Whenever television's going on a break around the holidays.
Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. It opens up with Zoom, capturing Harrison, and,
That's one thing I didn't expect.
Something.
I didn't expect Zoom in this
Merry
episode.
Christmas. I was expecting, him to have some sort of arc or story that they have to kind of
just to
flesh
tease
out
us,
later. Yeah.
just to tease us with for January.
But all in all, I loved this episode. I thought it was really cool. We get who at the end. Talk about him later.
Oh yeah, we'll get to him in a second.
So where do we start off?
I guess we can start off with the basic, overview of Martin and the Trickster,
Martin, the Weather Wizard.
Yeah, and the Trickster breaking out of jail. Well, Weather Wizard comes and breaks both
Captain Cold and Trickster out of jail.
Right,
Kind
exactly.
of builds one of our little tag teams we see of the Rogues Gallery we get. So it's kind of cool. Every few episodes we get a few different members who form up together. And in this case, this episode, it's the Weather Wizard trying to convince Captain Cold and Trickster to join his little group and ultimately kill the Flash.
Right.
That's what...
he just has it out for the Flash because his brother is dead. So he's a little vengeful. But Captain Cold doesn't roll that way, I guess.
No, he's a cool character. I know you have your opinions about him, but
I just hate the way he delivers his lines. It's so
he's
cheesy,
very
comic book villain.
It's fun. He's Captain Cold, but
I suppose you need at least one of those.
Exactly, but he is really in it for his own personal goals. So killing the Flash doesn't exactly do it for him. He wants either money or substance out of this, not just
It always seems to come back around to money, but I think what we realize in this episode is that he's not
a bad guy.
Yeah, he's not the person everyone thought he was, I guess.
No, we'll definitely learn more about him, obviously, with Legends of Tomorrow and as this season goes on.
Yeah, and we got that episode earlier in the season that was with his dad and how I guess they were trying to show like he kind of had a terrible upbringing. And
so he had it hard, and he's kind of adjusting to that lifestyle. He's had a very cold life.
Yeah, Barry says something to him because he shows up at Barry's house.
Yeah,
he's just like, cool. Hey, what does he say? Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, he's just sitting in the living room. and Barry says to him, he's just like, you're not really acting like a villain right now.
Yeah.
So
which is clear.
But eventually, Patty finds out, and she's got a vendetta against Weather Wizard, and she finds out that he's broken two people out of jail, and he's back, and
her head kind of gets a little riled up, and Barry, Joe, everyone around her kind of telling her, you can't let yourself get carried away with these thoughts. Yeah, he killed your father, blah, 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 but you have to stay focused, stay away from the case, don't get too involved.
Exactly.
And she's on her side of the case saying, no, like, this is my job to take this guy down for what he did to my family. So it's really, not completely a Patty-centric episode, obviously, but there are a lot of parts to her that are integrated with the Weather Wizard story. Exactly,
because as she said when she was introduced this season, the Weather Wizard, Mark killed her dad. But so they find out where their little hideout is, their temporary hideout.
But how do they do that? How do they do it?
A little CSI trickery.
Oh my gosh, I felt so.
You felt like you were watching a lesser show.
But whatever.
There's this, the Trickster comes on, and it was basically broadcasting across
all the TVs.
Every TV in Central City, and they basically do a freeze frame. They look in the reflection of his eye, and they see a very particular teddy bear that can...
What was it? Well, I can't
even remember what it was called, but it was manufactured at a facility that is now closed. They go to that facility. Patty finds out independently of the team, but Flash,
aside from them, she figures it out on her own, which is even more ridiculous. I could see the reflection of the teddy bear.
She sees it, and then so does Team Flash, and Flash shows up, and turns out it's a trap. What did you expect?
Of course, Trickster
left a trap, and so Barry does something new.
Yeah, he flies.
He tells Patty to grab onto him because they have these little bombs surrounding them, like literally
dreidels
moving towards him. Dreidels, yeah.
So he kind of creates that, vacuum and propels himself through the air.
Yeah, which is something that we see Weather Wizard do the same of.
And then Flash questions how he does it. He's like, guys, he's flying. Flash, you just did that. Don't question what he's doing.
That's what I was thinking too. I was just like, wait, didn't he just do that earlier this episode?
It's like, okay, wait, I use that twice.
But so we also get a little bit of callback to season 1 episode where Barry had time traveled that first time.
Oh, that was so cool how it kind of culminated where that story already kind of happened.
They're not forgetting about it.
No, that's cool. So Barry had that history.
Barry's like, Cisco, you already made a wand that can help me defeat the Weather Wizard, but you don't remember doing it because I erased that timeline when I went back in time and changed things.
You know what's so cool, though, is that they can do callbacks to that like comic stuff, like the Wizard's Wand, like how they can have it incorporated in such a modernistic way where it doesn't have to be cheesy and lame for this green and yellow suited wizard to be shooting out like lightning. It's cool.
Yeah, no, it's really awesome. And I like that they call back to things that have been erased from time.
Exactly, yep. Things that were part of the character's history and that maybe get washed away here and there.
I don't think they can really ignore that stuff now that they have Vibe, in the picture and his powers.
Absolutely.
But notice Wells' reaction is the same as most people, is don't tamper with the timeline.
Yep, and then Cisco says something, and he's like, well, the other Wells said that too. It's you don't mess with the timeline.
Yeah, but apparently it hasn't. I mean, aside from the Singularity opening over Central City,
nothing's happened. Yeah, really,
nothing else has happened. How about Mark Hamill's
his trickster, his portrayal?
Yeah.
Because we haven't got a chance to talk about this. Not doing a whole season 1 Flash talk or anything.
Right.
Let's do it right now, real quick. Mark Hamill's trickster.
He's excellent. I mean, I know he's basically a Joker.
Well, and
he plays the voice of the Joker.
Well, he played the trickster in the old 90s TV show The Flash, starring what's his face?
John Wesley Shipp
is the Flash. He was that trickster for that show, and oh my gosh, I haven't come back.
He's so good.
He's so good.
He's so good.
Obviously, our minds go to the whole he's the Joker thing, where his voice kind of is reminiscent of him in the games, the Arkham games, the animated TV series.
Yeah, because he played that voice for so long. He's very much the Joker.
He has a whole nother mindset for the trickster himself, which is cool because he's very good at playing insane people. So that's cool. It's fun.
It's great. And so it kind of concludes when the trickster is playing Santa Claus in a tree lighting ceremony where kids are coming up and saying, "Hey, this is what I want for Christmas, Santa," and he's giving them these boxes.
He pulled his beard off when he was talking to a kid. You can't do that.
You can't do that when you're Santa. But supposedly in 100 random boxes that he's handed out, there is a bomb, and
even his bombs with presents.
And so Weather Wizard says that if you even move for a second, he's like, if I see any lightning, then those bombs will go off. He's like, even if you knew where they all were, you wouldn't be able to stop them. So Wells helps Team Flash devise a plan where they can open up a portal to Earth 2 and send one bomb through the portal, and somehow that
the
reverses
polarity would
the polarity.
Magnetize the rest of the bombs,
and so all the bombs
with them. I mean, sure, there's the scientific explanation and whatnot, but that little view of just the presents going whoop whoop and then shooting out the window and sucking up, that looks so dumb and it looks so cheesy and so Christmas specially and whatever. That's cool, but it looked dumb.
But so they get rid of the bombs.
Save the day.
Yeah, Flash gets the
message,
gets the news, and then so he takes them all down.
You see that lightning in his eye. That's so cool. He just
yep, exactly.
And it's like it's go time, and you can see the trickster. He's like, "Uh-oh,
I'm screwed." Yeah. And then so they're all taken care of, but then Patty shows up on the scene, and she still has a vendetta against Weather Wizard, against Mark, and
she did something crazy. She's walking up all, after Flash has taken down them both. She just walks up with this gun, and Flash is like, "Oh, good thing, what's up?" And she shoots him in the leg. I didn't expect that. I was waiting for her to go unmask him or something, or waiting for him to unmask himself. Like
she shot him with that device that basically traps his leg to the ground.
Yeah. What's it called? The bootleg?
I don't remember.
I think it's called the bootleg or something like that.
But so Flash has to, or Barry Flash, has to give her a speech about why this is a terrible idea and how this will ruin her life because she'll go to jail if she kills him. And she doesn't do it. She arrests him instead.
Of course, the Flash talks her because he's a superhero. The whole.
But then, they're having a Christmas party at the end. Everything is all fine and dandy. And guess who shows up? Wait, before we get to that, Barry has a very sentimental speech with...
with Wells, yes. So
Wells can't hear him. He's behind another window. Yeah, so we
get the point. Wells is working in his lab, doing his thing behind the glass pane. We have Barry looking through and kind of talking to Wells as if he is the original Earth One Eobard Thawne.
Yeah, he's like, I know you're not him, but I need to say this. And he says this thing about how he's just like, you told me that I could never be happy in that video.
Like, and I hated you. I've hated you. And now, you know what? I can't.
He says,
I forgive you.
I forgive you.
He forgives Wells, and it's kind of a really touching moment, especially with what comes later. However, when we were at the Christmas party, someone knocks on the door. Michael, who knocks on that door?
A little Mr. Wallace West.
Wallace West?
Yeah.
Probably the greatest Flash ever to live. So now we finally get our first view of Wally West. Michael, how'd you feel?
It was excellent. He doesn't say much. Joe answers the door. Joe had found out in this episode that he exists.
Yep.
And he answers the door, and he can tell he's shocked, and he knows who he's looking at.
He knows exactly who it is.
And he says, I'm
Wally.
I'm Wally. I don't know how he ended up there though. Like, did their mom like set that
something
up?
Like, it had to be something like that, or he looked into it a little bit after finding out as well. But it's kind of funny because is that Christmas Day or is that Christmas Eve he shows up?
Christmas Eve, I think.
Christmas Eve. So he walks up there and he's like, "Oh, I see you have guests. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt."
Right. Would you expect?
Christmas
I mean,
Eve.
it might not be Christmas Eve. It might have just been a generic Christmas time party, but
that was kind of funny.
It's still really great to finally have Wally in the picture.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, of course, we were both calling out for the whole. He has his suit and his speed right away, and
yeah, it's not. Yeah,
no, but
I knew that wasn't gonna happen.
I can't wait. We finally got our first view, and it was fun.
Yeah, but we do get a little tease for what's to come.
Yep.
Wells, this whole time, Wells in this episode has been basically plotting something with Zoom.
Yep.
And
so they're kind of in cahoots.
Yeah, Wells says that...
I've been calling this from the beginning, though, that they're going to make this Wells evil, too, just so it messes with Barry even more. He has to trust Wells all over again after finding out that he's the guy that murdered his mom, the one that set everything up, made him
and that
Flash.
He just forgave him?
Just forgave him in this episode, and then Wells, Earth 2, tells Zoom, yes, I'll help you steal the Flash's speed. What?
Yeah.
So that's going to be, of course, another beautiful, interesting arc of villainy.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching Flash Talk this week. So they're going on hiatus for a couple of weeks. They'll be back mid-January with the rest of the second season, along with, Arrow's taking a break, too. And that same week, we get the premiere of Legends of Tomorrow.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Tuesday, The Flash, Arrow on Wednesday, and Legends of Tomorrow on Thursday.
It's going to be a full week.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be busy.
So thanks, guys, for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let us know in the comments what you thought about this episode. I think it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, this was, aside from the whole not feeling of the mid-season finale, it was a good episode. Did a lot of filler and did its job, as an episode.
Yeah, so thanks, guys.
Please like, share, and subscribe.